this could be a chance for him to prove that he can hang with Europe's best. Tarik, of course, I think before lockdown, I think he was number 2 on the German PR and number 14 on the European PR.
Yeah, definitely somebody who has established himself as a very, very potent threat both offline and online. And I think Tarik's probably one of the favorites to do incredibly well throughout this tournament. Of course, he did get knocked into losers by Luigi earlier on, but I think a lot of people expected Tarik to place at around here. Already off to a really pretty strong start versus Freetox. Min Min goes deep for that back air, the triple back air to take that first stock. Blinked and you missed it.
Blink and you missed it indeed. And this is what people don't know yet about Min Min. Well, I mean, people know, right? Her offstage isn't the greatest. But being able to abuse that requires quite a bit of matchup experience. Here's the thing that people actually don't know about Min Min. She can cancel her aerials with her up B. So when she's off stage, she can throw an aerial 1, aerial 2, and still recover. And talk about recovery, Freetox recovering back into the game, just making sure that his deficit was never felt in the first place, going back to what is just about even in terms of percentages right now.
Yeah, we see, of course, I mean, this is very typical for Greninja, jumping high in the air quite a lot. We see Tarik trying to occupy those sort of blind spots that Min Min has in her offensive and defensive play. The town and city platform dragging Freetox off, not able to make it back. Min Min, of course, not having the longest range on that tether. Very unfortunate, but still in this.
Still in this for sure. Min Min is never out of the game. There's a reason she's one of the better characters in the roster. And right now, Freetox is showing it. It's back to even. Bear, you said he's still not out of the game. Freetox said, okay, hold my drink. I got this. And just like that, we're back. Again, we're back to even. The recovery coming in big. Freetox is making sure that he's never behind too much, right? And that is very, very important. Of course, Greninja is a rage monster. He gets so much off of that rage forward air, rage up smash, but not right now. Right now, Tarik just sitting pretty on his 0% fresh stock. Freetox can hardly hit him. Finally finds a solid hit with that nair in the air, and that's a very important part of Min Min's hit. When you do get in close, she can use that neutral air to get those big anti-airs or air-to-airs, however you want to phrase it. So far, so again, the neutral air, the air-to-air coming in big for Freetox, but Tarik not letting up. Good pressure, going high, like you said, Viren, and Freetox is going to have to anti-air him sooner or later. Again, the neutral air coming in big. A megawatt on the shield is going to be a little bit less safe than her other arms. Whoa!
Like the deep edge guard is Tarik, and this game it's been so back and forth between these two. Even with this near 100% lead, it definitely feels like Freetox could potentially take it with the right play. Too low for the recovery. Once again, that tether, that upbeat tether from Min Min not reaching far enough, and that'll be game 1 going to Tarik. But my goodness, both of these players have had such explosive back and forth moments that I really don't know how this set is going to play out.
For sure, you couldn't have said it any better. And I think, like, just at a base level, you would imagine that Greninja does well against Min Min, because Min Min's main weakness is that she's all about horizontal control, right? Her arms, they don't really go vertically unless you up B, but I mean, details, right? So mostly horizontal control. So a character like Greninja, who kind of infiltrates your zone with that vertical jump, on paper, very, very good against Min Min. But here we saw Freetox just using some of Min Min's less explored options, I want to say, or less iconic options. Let's put it that way. Her less iconic options, like the rising nair to keep him out of the air, to just establish this control that is not just horizontal but also vertical. And now I think it's up to Tarik to kind of adjust to that, right? To use those full hops not just as a way to infiltrate, but also as a way to bait Freetox to play more vertically, and then maybe establish some horizontal control of his own.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's definitely going to be it's definitely going to be a game of who's able to adjust to the vertical versus horizontal gameplay. And I think the onus is on Freetox to be able to adapt to what Tarik is doing, because the core of Tarik's gameplay is going to be those full hops, making his way in and over the defensive game plan of Min Min. As a result, as you were saying before, Freetox is going to have to often preemptively go for those kind of anti-airs, go for those nairs, maybe go for those up smashes and up Bs, the slightly higher commitment options. And in doing so, that in turn will generate opportunities and openings for Tarik to establish his ground game. Obviously, Greninja being an incredibly fast character on the ground as well, that creates those opportunities to get whiff punishes. So we'll see more of that in this game too, hopefully going to Final Destination.
No, Fairham, it's unfair. We agree, we say the same things, but your voice and your accent is so nice that you sound so smart doing it, and I'm here just being me. Nah, I'm just kidding.
You're the coach, I'm the coach, so who's the actual smart one here?
I mean, I'm happy to share the title of the smartest one on the screen with you. Of course, so far, we're back into the brawl of a match. Greninja just taking a huge lead with that offstage back and forth. Freetox trying to fight his way out of that bad situation. And Tarik is saying, no sir, you're gonna see the Blast Zone in no time. And this has been like, we've only had 2 sets or 1.5 sets. And a lot of games have had a stock taken in like the first 30 seconds. And here we are again. Freetox now though has a lot of control over the neutral. Finds a Megawatt, almost gets the KO. And now Tarik has to recover. Ooh.
These stocks have been blazing. I like the idea of that up-angled Ram right there, just trying to catch Tarik jumping, because playing a frog, why wouldn't you be jumping? Oh, lovely interception with that up B right there, calling out the jump. And again, Freetox keeping this competitive, but this is such an explosive back and forth that I have no doubt that Tarik is going to find a critical opening relatively soon.
You say that, but I believe in Freetox. Freetox can get a single opening and push it very far himself. Greninja has amazing pressure, as you highlighted, the vertical game, the horizontal game, the speed, but he doesn't have the greatest disadvantage. Doesn't matter much when you only aggress, and Freetox taking another dive into the Blast Zone, and again, immediately answering back. Tarik already on the ropes. His stock almost melted right before his eyes. Now answering with the double back air, Freetox recovering back to the stage, just calm, cool, and collected. And that back air by Greninja, just so much mileage for Tarik, covering a lot of airspace. And if he fastballs it, it basically creates a little bit of a wall, right? So he uses his high jump to start up high, uses back air, fastballs, and suddenly it's this huge wall of just hitbox that Min has to get through, and she kind of struggles to do so. She's not the only one, but
yeah,
because of her recovery, definitely a big point in the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Min definitely has ways to kind of protect herself off stage. She's not the worst at doing that. You know, the long range of those arms is generally very good at swatting away a lot of characters, but because of the height and speed of Greninja's jumps, she has a hard time clipping him while he's trying to edge guard. Lovely reversal right there, getting the KO, but 108%, that is a big deficit. Just about misses that crucial forward air. Oh, a big charge Megawatt right there.
Megawatt coming in big, and a little bit late on the up smash. No punish on the forward smash by Greninja, and they're kind of scrambling. Now Freetox, he's been using the Megawatt so often, and there it is, the biggest of reads, and this is why you don't let Min go to Final Destination. Please, if you play against Min, ban that stage. I don't care if it's the best stage for your character. Ban that stage. You want to be able to land on a platform so that this doesn't happen to you. Don't end up in Freetox's montage, please.
Yeah, Tarik was, a lot of the time, he spent a lot of that game in terms of playing disadvantage, trying to drift in and aggressively come down with those neutral airs. But when you're playing against a character like Min, who controls so much horizontal space and has a pretty decent dash back alongside that, it's relatively easy for her to just, you know, fade back, fade towards center stage, charge up one of those arms and just punish your landing. Even if Tarik retreated to ledge, he was still in a pretty bad spot because, again, Min's so good at covering that space once you're in those disadvantageous positions as well.
Yep. So, at the end of the day, Freetox just, again, making a comeback happen, Virim. I believe, like, almost every single stock that he's taken has been a comeback. He loses stock and respawns, makes a big play happen, and we're back to even. And this time, he almost lost his stock, survived, and made the big play happen. And that just goes to show the pressure that is on Tarik. right? Because if Tarik makes a wrong play, he's leaving FreeTalk's room to make these counter plays just like that. So very, very impressive back and forth, in my opinion. And I'm really excited to see what the next game will bring. I hope if Tarik wins this, that he starts banning FD. I know Greninja's like FD. Because like, look at it this way, right? On FD, you can full hop whenever you want. There's no platforms in your way. But this might not be the matchup for that stage pick.
Yeah, instead taking it to PS2, having those platforms to help out, but alongside that, you still got the benefit of a big, large, flat stage while having the platforms. Very similar start to what we've seen before. Stocks haven't been lost to the point yet.
Nope,
it's much more
just
of a back and
forward. Yep, the back air and the pressure, the water, or the hydro pump, I should say, not leading into much, but Tarik, you know the type of player Tarik is. He's just looking for every possible opportunity to pressure you. The back air wall in the corner, the up air drag down, the tech chase afterwards, just hit after hit after hit, and FreeTalk's finally finding a break with that down smash. One of her faster moves, the down tilt up smash, not quite gonna be it. FreeTalk's again bringing out that trusty Megawatt. It almost got the aerial of B again. He tends to find those quite regularly, and now that he has the grab, he had the powered up dragon, and he found that critical aerial forward air or forward smash. It's a little bit hard to discern. Just the powered up state on the dragon, making quick work of Tarik's stock. And this game is looking like an entirely different story than previous two.
Yeah, I was wondering what the games were going to be like. What an edge guard is what I would say, but unfortunately forfeits that stock early because he went just a little bit too deep. Of course, Greninja, having that pretty great recovery overall, can afford to make these deep edge guards a lot of time, but that time he overextended a little bit too far, and now a full stock lead for FreeTalks once again.
Yep, and that is rough. There's one mantra that I like to live by, and I also like to tell my students is, if you're playing against a zoner, don't play to win, play to go even, right? And because if you play to win, you're making it so swingy. And right now, Tarik just kind of overextending on that edge guard, finding the short end of that swinginess, and now you're behind against a zoner, and that is the worst possible scenario. You have to get through the hitboxes. They have no incentive to approach. And so far, it's looking a little bit rough for Tarik. Look at his percentage as compared to FreeTalk's. It's not looking pretty. Of course, the down tilt up smash, the great equalizer, Jordan. Just such an amazing kill confirm, and one of the reasons why Greninja is such a good character in this game.
Yeah, that was a very, very crucial opening. If Tarik can maintain this percent, maintain this rage for as long as possible, we could potentially see another relatively early KO coming out from him. He's racking up the damage with these back airs. He has his stage control. There goes Min-Min's jump, not able to intercept the recovery, but still, good ledge trap situation right here. Another back air.
He intercepted the tether, and oh my goodness, FreeTalk's realizing it was curtains, tried to get a Hail Mary Megawatt arm out there to maybe get a cheeky stage spike and get a cheeky KO, but it wasn't enough. Tarik finding a miraculous comeback. Well, I don't think it's miraculous, right? I mean, it's Min-Min's recovery. He found a back air on the tether and just closed it out perfectly. And that is one of those things, right? A lot of the tether characters, when they use their tether, they do a little bit of a hop upwards. So if they grab the ledge, they start off by swinging upwards a little bit, and then the momentum reverses and they swing all the way down. And Tarik making great use of that property of theirs, finding the back air, aiming it a little bit higher than the tether position, catching out the tether itself, and just from there, lights out for FreeTalk's. Oh no! Virum, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I am seeing the two bands of not FD and not FD, therefore I assume that we are going to be going back to Final Destination for this upcoming stage pick.
And we'll see. Oh, wait, no, Smashville! What's happening? I'm sorry, guys. I lied to you. Oh,
can't return back to FD because of DSR on the rule set. So
okay, yep, that makes more sense. Projection just told us there's DSR. Of course, we don't have DSR in most European tournaments, so excuse us for forgetting. But yeah, so we're going to Smashville. Interesting pick. Not a pick you often see by Min-Min players because so from what I've heard, and I've talked to Rinor about this, who is arguably Never mind. Let me stop my rant. It's Ness. Ness is coming out. Ness on Smashville. Now that makes sense.
Yes. Harkening all the way back to the days of Smash 4. This was definitely one of Ness's home pick stages back then, and it's still one of his home pick stages nowadays as well. Ness, a character that's been doing a ton of work during this online focused era as well. I've yet to see FreeTox's Ness in action. I've definitely only seen the Min, but you know, if he's confident enough to bring it out here in losers quarters, it definitely has to be a practice character of his.
For sure, and I can only assume it was his main before Min came out. So far, Ness holding his own very well. We're seeing a much more slow-paced game, not quite as explosive. Tarik still looking for every opportunity possible to aggress, but if you over-aggress against Ness, you're gonna get PK fired, you're gonna get hurt by those fortress hitboxes, right? Ness not known as a walling character, but he does have defense. However, not enough defense off stage. The Hydro Pump, arguably the hard counter to that PK Thunder, especially in this game. In the previous game, and especially in Brawl, you had a lot more maneuverability with that up B, as far as I'm aware. In this game, it's a little bit harder to react to the Hydro Pump displacing you, and Tarik just making great use of that, getting hit after hit, and now the advantage state is on, and it's looking a little bit rough for FreeTox. Struggles to find his footing in this game number 4.
Yeah, he's struggling to find any real critical openings. We see him whiffing a lot of these big forward smashes, trying to get some kind of hard read in there, but Tarik just one step ahead at every juncture.
Yep, amazing performance so far. Tarik just staying very solid, and that's one of the hardest things about playing a character like Greninja, right? You don't have any defense, or well, you don't have a lot of defense, let's put it that way, so you have to rely purely on offense. But if you overextend on your offense, then you're suffering from your poor defense. So you have to be offensive, but also extremely precise. And Tarik just showing the best that Greninja can do with that type of playstyle paradigm. Of course, is gonna lose his first stock to a dash attack. Not a big deal though, got a solid lead so far. Finds a forward air to zone break past the PK Fire. PK Fire, again, one of those horizontal control tools, and Greninja with the verticality is going to get over that quite easily, as you mentioned in the Min matchup as well, Viren.
Yeah, Tarik just trying to look for the move to close the stock. Fair, a little bit stale right now, not able to take the stock from that distance. Another one in the corner should be it. Able to PK Thunder through the Hydro Pump. Up throw, not enough rage on that. And drops out the up air as well. Definitely a forward throw or up throw will get the KO from here for Greninja.
Yeah, and Tarik just looking for that final hit, and FreeTox, he keeps hanging on. Just barely, and that kind of goes to show how evasive of a character Ness can be, and how much respect Greninja needs to give Ness as well. As you can see, a little bit too much aggression, and that forward air, one of those fortress tools, a lasting hitbox, and the down smash as well, just amazing pressure on the ledge. And FreeTox living till 193. Viren, this is insanity. You shouldn't be living this long.
Yeah, Tarik just having a real hard time, just chipping away so far with these water shurikens, but having a real hard time finding that significant blow. All he really needs is a grab at this point, but even that, he's having a hard time finding. 107% now on Tarik. This is definitely in the danger zone for him.
He's fishing for the grabs. I've seen him miss like 4 of them in a row now. And the down tilt's obviously not going to connect anymore. Tarik needs to be a little bit more consistent and not just look for the kill in neutral, because that is what is costing him right now. And they're both in kill percentage. And if you go for a grab right now as Greninja, you're opening yourself up to a back throw. Or if you full hop, you open yourself up to an up air. And FreeTox, he just keeps living. He keeps hanging on. 214%. Finally kicks the bucket, and we're back to an even game after what looked like a done deal. And now Tarik, this is his chance to close out the set. He's made it even. He stopped the momentum that FreeTox had built up. He has to make something happen now.
Yeah, this is potentially FreeTox's winner's side stock if he's not able to kind of close it out versus Tarik here. Tarik gaining some momentum, big forward air to knock Ness off stage.
Yep, another forward air, just continuously pushing FreeTox towards the blast zone. FreeTox rolling to center, reestablishing control. Tarik looking for those down tilts. We've established this. Tarik will look for the down tilts if you're at this percent. Oh, and there it is, down to 4 there. Reminds me of Tweak's Donkey Kong in Smash 4, just constantly looking for that kill confirm whenever it's available. Again, the down smash gets called out with the spot dodge down smash. FreeTalk saying, hey, you're not going to be able to play this range without any risk. Calls out the full hop with the up air, but Tarik fell out. Tarik looking for an up smash. He's scrabbling for a KO. A little bit of an ill-advised neutral beat. FreeTalks, can he make it back again? He will.
The triple jump that is Ness's directional air dodge. Still alive from that forward air. Again, great DI coming out from FreeTalks, but that back air is going to seal the game and the set. Tarik making it through to loser semis.
We got the victory screenshot on deck. I love it. I love it. Tarik bringing home the dub, beating FreeTalks, beating their Min as well as their Ness. So definitely showing superiority right here today. Moving on to loser semis, where he has to face Super Striker. Interesting game. I thought it makes sense when I look at FreeTalks' Ness and Min. I can see why he plays these characters, because from what I can gather, he enjoys the horizontal control that both a tool like PK Fire as well as Min's arms give, and from there he relies mostly on like callouts to kind of deny the vertical play. And we saw that work out well with Min with like the rising nairs, especially the megawatt nairs, and then with Ness, obviously the up air, one of Ness's strongest tools. Very interesting how you can see that someone's playstyle does carry over between two characters that on paper are nothing alike, right? And then Tarik, on the other hand, just constantly in his opponent's face, pressure, and it paid off. It paid off for sure. Excellent job by Tarik.
Right, so we're going to have some more replays of the set that we just watched, of course, between FreeTalks and Tarik. Starting off on that game one, this was, of course, a very kind of explosive back and forth between those two. And of course, we have the game two, the one that marks the big comeback from FreeTalks, as we're about to see.
Yep, and this is the final stock. FreeTalks finding that fully charged megawatt forward smash. You have to see it to believe it. All right, now game three, FreeTalks controlling that center stage, getting that early lead that we talked about, and now Tarik just going extremely deep, but pays the price a little bit too deep, has to make the comeback, does make it happen with a down tilt up smash, and then the final stock, like we said, the back air, FreeTalks trying to get the Hail Mary megawatt arm out there, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but now, as you mentioned in the game, there was the hydro pump to push Ness out of the range of that PK Thunder. And of course, a super long stock from both sides right there. And finally, back air to end the set and allow Tarik to move on to loser semis.
Yep. So, the 3-1 victory out of the way, and I think we're now going to move back into winners, where we have winners finals lined up. That's Siskwi versus Lugi